Welcome, everybody, to season 22 of the Kabir Motors Cup, brought to you by the unofficial Penny Arcade Racing League. I'm your host and last season's Kabir Cup winner, Banana. Allowing me in the booth this season and joining me tonight for commentating is Abner.
Good evening, everybody. Good to be here.
And Peter.
Good evening, folks. Looking forward to another fun, exciting season of cars going around in circles at high speeds here.
And I'm looking forward to watching everybody wreck, because I'm not there anymore.
Yep, so welcome to Bristol Motor Speedway in scenic Tennessee, where we're going to take the street stocks for some heat racing around what's called the Last Great Coliseum. And I can tell you, having flown over it many a times, it does look like a coliseum from the air.
Yeah, we do expect a little bit of chaos in this one. Surviving is going to be the name of the game. And I think, qualifying and not ending up in a place where you're going to necessarily be a victim of an incident in front of you is going to be a crucial part of it, too. So, drivers taking the track now to start our first qualifying of season 22.
Yep, obviously a very interesting combo. I think this is also the first time we've seen all three street stocks in since iRacing did that update to add a couple more variations, and we do have all three represented. We have a vast majority of the Free Panthers, but we have 3 Eagles and 1 Casino just to spice things up a little bit here. Yes.
I'm a big
Love to
fan
see
of
it.
Casino. I
And
find the
also, this
Casino
is
body is the best looking. It reminds me a lot of the 87.
We
This
all
is
know
the
you love
fifth
the
birthday
87.
season, by the way, for our lovely league. So I think it'll be an exciting one, and hopefully no new pandemics or anything to have to worry about 5 years down the line. But great turnout still tonight,
Oh,
and
yeah.
very excited to see. Week one we always get a little bit of a pop of some extra enthusiasm and fresh season, fresh optimism, but a good turnout here.
Yeah, definitely. Great turnout. 18 entries. Looks like Gargos is going to take pole here for the heat. Our heat structure is pretty straightforward. 2 heats, sort of at equal value points wise. We have this quick qualifying session to set the first grid. 15-minute heat. The results of the first heat set the grid for the second heat. 15-minute second race, and that's the run of show tonight. As always, after the race, we'll have this time 3 post-race segments where we're adding a post-race segment. We're not going to spoil what that is right now, but we will have the classical livery parade. We will have the classical CSI racing, and there'll be a third post-race segment that we'll let you know about when we're a little bit closer to it.
Yeah. We still have a couple drivers out on track. I don't know if they're just doing practice laps at this point that aren't going to count, but the 2 laps are very quick to go by here on this very short track. We're talking about a 17-second lap or so, give or take, for all our drivers here.
Yep, I think everyone's done their 2 laps that are going to count. And yeah, there's going to be lots of storylines. And I think one of the big storylines we're going to see is, can Ben Serta get a 4th consecutive Champions Cup in a row?
I am
And
looking
also,
forward to
Red
seeing
Stapler returning to the
Gargos.
track is going to
Yep.
be a story. Not to be biased towards our former colleague here in the booth,
Yes.
but
Oh, totally not.
Red is definitely somebody who has the pace and knows this sim back to front. I think better as much as anybody I know, and so always going to be a contender.
Yep. For the technical notes here, we are on the dual configuration of Bristol. While pit stops shouldn't happen, if they do happen, both pit roads are treated independently. And because we only have 18 cars, everyone will pit on the front stretch. And we'll also let you know it is dual as in dual with a gun, because that's the way it is spelled in iRacing, DUEL, as opposed to the dueling pit roads of 2, which we think is what they probably meant. Surprised that bug's lasted. It's been a couple years. I'm surprised no one noticed that and reported it yet.
I'll meet you at the pit road at dawn, partner.
Or more realistically, it's been reported 200 times, and changing the name of the track would break every single data structure in the database.
That's probably it too. Sometimes a convention is convention, and it just is what it is.
Yep.
Looks like everybody's done qualifying. Let's take a look at that grid.
Oh yes, I'm excited for this.
Yes.
All right. Starting up in the front row will be Gargos and Ben. followed by Red Stapler and Decker, Dingo and Jake, Jay and John Fisticuffs, Severin and Dallas, Bryce and McCribs, Zagron and Vivi, watch out for the mad cow, Drax and Baron, and I believe, nope, one more, Albert and Classy, and that should be the end of that.
Yeah, 18 drivers. Got the three-dimensional overlay here. Very cool. The gaps here, of course, this being a very short lap, the gaps are minuscule. I think really the goal here is to kind of get into a pack where you can separate and be safe and, survive this 15-minute heat. And we'll see here as the drivers get underway.
We will have 2 pace laps here. We're being advised by race control, and we're going to get our first official laps of season 22 here momentarily.
I'm predicting it now, end of the season, this front row is going to be both the Kabir Cup and Champ Cup winners.
Oh, you're calling Gargos and Ben?
I'm calling, look, I had a big hard fight last season with Gargos. He kind of got screwed over in a couple of races. So, yeah, I think if he sticks around the whole season and doesn't get too frustrated, I think he's gunning for it this time. Now, Red's not going to make it easy for him.
No, Red is not a Champions Cup. So
no,
yeah, that's going to be an interesting battle there. I agree.
We are 1 to go here. Lights are off on the pace car. We'll be racing here shortly. I think the key here is just getting that clean start, getting to the preferred lane. You really can't keep the outside too long here with the tire wear, but some folks may be able to make it work.
I want to see outside lane passing, please.
Well, and I think in some of our more recent oval races, especially the shorters, the outside line is especially advantageous here at the race start. So we may see Ben look to try and take an early advantage here against Gargos and just holding a little bit more speed as the pace car goes in and the green flag is out.
Here we go.
We are racing. There's an immediate checkup on the outside line, but everyone's going to work that out. Ben holds it tight on the outside around Gargos, but Gargos looks like is going to get it. No, Ben has to run on the outside into turn 3. Ben running tight with Gargos. They're right neck and neck, and nope, still there. They're gonna battle this out for a couple of laps, it looks like, to figure out who's going to be out front.
Yeah, a bit of shuffling behind. Red Stapler now leading the pack from P3, and then we've got Chris Decker behind. And a bit of a checkup there on the start from, I believe it was Chris Decker on the outside line. And I think that... Oh, yeah, we do.
Yep. Looks like that's... like the Fat Baron may have been involved there. Not too sure.
And we're still side by side out front here.
Yep,
McCribs in the line.
In the line. Oh, that was a close call from a bit of a tough region.
And it's going to continue to be as the traffic continues to run up here.
Car into barrels there. We'll have to investigate that. I see some 3 wide axing behind as McRib sort of rejoins the pack after whatever incident happened early on.
And that's going to put Red Stapler and Chris Decker side by side. Red Stapler on the outside is going to keep that advantage and stay in P3 as the top 2 stay side by side out front. Decker is not going to give up on it just yet. Red gets a little squirrely on the exit, but is going to hold that line.
I mean, I'd love to look at some other drivers, but these two are just not.
There's a wreck, unfortunately.
They're not giving up.
And McRibs.
Yeah, no, this is incredible. We are, 6 laps in. They've been side by side the entire time, giving that racing room and not an inch past that racing room. Oop, little contact. The car stopped here on the side. They
that's going to set them loose.
Get them loose, but it looks like they all survived.
Wow.
Thanks from a little help there from
Zag to get them straightened out.
And that's going to give Gargos the lead after a very exciting 6-lap side-by-side battle there.
Yeah, and unfortunately, the victim of that one is going to be Red Stapler, who was in P3 and now drops to P5. Chris Decker now resumes that position as the final podium contender, but of course, plenty of racing left to go, and the draft is going to be all important here. But I think we're starting to see the end of the very dramatic side-by-side battles that we saw for many laps there after the start. That was quite exciting stuff.
see Dingo, Wardingo in P4 looking occasionally poking a nose to the inside of Decker, just trying to remind Decker that Wardingo is present and ready to take that spot. And they're also, both of them are catching up Ben with, I think what may have happened with those two running side by side for so long, they may have worn out the tires a little bit and may have to be a bit more defensive as we get to sort of the middle phases of this race.
Yeah,
like
the
to point
gap from
out-
our leader to our P3 and P4 seems to be closing corner by corner here, although, as I say that, Decker runs a little bit deep.
I'd like to point out so far, Drax has managed to make 7 positions from his qualifying spot.
Excellent. Drax used to run our oval series, probably one of the best overall oval racers here in the league, so not a huge surprise there to see Drax making the run up front. I'll say, if everyone's single file, we sort of lost some of our passing ability as that inside sort of dominant lane is taking over here. Might result in some bumping to nudge people out of the way, but we'll see how that develops and who's going to be the first to use the bumper.
Yeah, there's still plenty of time left in this one. I think we'll see more bumper as we go on. Although we might see a bit of a teamwork here, and this is not a track where we're going to be seeing quite a huge effect from the draft, as it's a very short track. And just a bit of a... We got a McCribs again here, navigating some traffic for our leaders.
Yep, keeping to the inside, just staying that consistent line to be there, but not get in the way. I will say the leaders, both Gargos and Ben, have been really loose on some of the corner exits here. I think their tires are suffering quite a bit from that early on battle, but they are starting to pull ahead a little bit. Yeah, and that could be it as well. Some damage from the various contacts they've had.
You can see damage on both cars on the passenger side front fender.
Yep.
Yeah, and they may not be alone. I mean, I think the 81 car of Red Stapler and the 32 car may have been caught up there of Chris Decker in some of those early kind of lap traffic melees that didn't cause anybody to have to retire, but definitely may have left their mark on the vehicles.
Yeah, good battle here for sort of P5 through, I think that's going to be P9 here. Nice little group here sort of waiting for a mistake or for lap traffic to get in the way. Little 3 wide there as the lap traffic. Classy stays well out of the way, gives that room to the pack.
And Draxon with a look there on the inside in that red Lego 61 car, but I think not quite able to pull it off at this point with just the tires starting to go off. That inside line is just a really hard thing to pull off. I think there's going to have to be some setup, maybe, as you said, a bit of a bump, a bit of a just prying open the line.
Well, he is having to hold off Dallas, who is notoriously quick.
Yep.
Well, there's a lot of quick drivers in this field. I'll tell you what. I mean, if you go and look at this roster, it's a who's who of who's been successful in this league.
Yep.
There's 10 drivers who are legitimately contenders in terms of pace.
I would like to point out and call out Fisticuffs, who's doing a great job of holding that 7th position.
Knocking on wood for you, my friend.
That's my fellow casino driver, and it's also a skill issue driver. Look at that back trunk. He's representing. Love him.
I'm just saying, I've been guilty of cursing drivers before, and I'm just saying it. We're just doing some anti-curse. You could say everything.
Meanwhile, lap car
big contact.
big pile
and
up
he gets
from that.
Fisticuffs gets through.
Keymaster does not, unfortunately, and then gets hit from behind by the 3-4. Oh my, that is going to be collecting a number of cars there.
Yeah, we'll have to take another look at that here. Looks like red checked up Ford Direct got run over by Keymaster, pushed into it, and might be able to take a closer look a little later on there as that wreck. Check out quite a few cars. What it also did is it sort of cleared space for the leaders. You've got Gargos in first, Ben in second, and then 3 seconds back to now Fisticuffs in third, Dallas fourth, and Drax fifth. That was sort of the big one that I think we're going to have here, and I think it all started by sort of a bad pit rejoin that we'll look at later on.
Yeah, we'll check back in. I think a few cars here are going to be a number of laps down and may just call it a race.
My man Fisticuffs sitting in third. He's in for a podium.
And I will say, we talked about keeping it clean. So far, 3 cars have a 0x, and they are in first, second, and third.
And then just to round out the top 5, we've got Dallas, who we mentioned has the pace, started P10, and has made up a number of positions. And then Draxon in P5, who started P15, who has made up just a just blistering kind of pace on the track, all kinds of overtakes. Luck with the draw on some of these incidents as well definitely plays a factor, but a big result for Draxon, who started near the back of this pack, an 18-driver pack, started 15th, and now is running P5.
And I will say, has the fastest lap. The only lap, actually not the only lap into 16s, but the 16.996, and fastest lap is worth a point, but is the fastest lap between both heats.
Well, Draxon is, as we said, somebody who can bring the heat on an oval race, and he's showing that right now. That is an impressive drive.
Yep.
And potentially an interesting battle brewing between Draxon and Dallas for P4.
Yep, and I think that's really the closest battle on the field. The leaders have separated out a little bit. Ben seems content to sort of take the P1 for the Champions Cup, while Gargos would take the P1 for the Gabir Cup. But between Dallas and Drax, I think these are both in the Gabir Cup here.
No, Drax is actually in the Champions Cup.
Ah, is he? Okay.
As is Dallas.
Okay, well, then it's still a battle between the two of them, and I'm just not paying enough attention to my notes.
Yeah.
As a reminder, we sort of run a dual model here. Most folks are in what we call the Gabir Cup. When you win the Gabir Cup, you get promoted to the Champions Cup, which I think has 6 people in it.
6 drivers, including myself, and I'm not racing this season.
Yep, so it'll have 5
you have
drivers.
immunity, right?
I do have immunity, yes. So why not enjoy it here in the booth with y'all?
The bottom driver of the Champions Cup after each season will get relegated back to the Gabir League. But if you won it last season, as Banana did, the Gabir Cup, then you are safe from relegation. And so that's why we're joined by Banana taking a nice little vacation from racing and doing some broadcasting with us. So that's really nice. And Red Stapler is back on the track as a result. And unfortunately for Red, a bit of a victim of that collect them all incident, and was running, in contention for the top 5, and now is still in 6th place and in there, but just an unfortunate
he needs
break
Drax
for Red.
and Dallas to continue this battle they're having for 4th. Slow themselves down.
That battle will continue. Got a little spicier after some lap traffic was involved there for a moment, but you can see now that's really letting Drax apply the pressure to Dallas here. As we run lap 35, we got about 4 minutes left in the heat. A lot has happened, and there's plenty of time for more to happen. You'll see Drax is really applying the pressure, sort of being that half a line to the inside, sort of hoping Dallas gets a little bit loose on exit and leaves the door open.
Drax is not afraid to use a
running defensive.
Did he get it this
Drax is really applying the pressure. I think it's going to get a nose there. Forces Dallas wide. Let's see if Dallas is able to get the momentum off the turn.
Yeah,
does, and is going to clear it out.
Yeah, a little squirrely there for Dallas, but just quick hands there, able to control it on the exit and keep the position. Still, that pressure is going to mount and mount for Dallas as Drax continues to apply it.
I will say they are catching fisticuffs as well up there. Oh, there's
a little bit of contact.
Drax put the bumper to him.
Yeah, I don't think Drax intended that, because that's not the way you would do it if you actually wanted to make the pass.
No, I think Dallas might be getting a little bit of heat in those rear tires and is losing a bit of rear grip, and I think Draxon is sensing it. Maybe looking for the outside line.
Too outside into the wall. Good, pretty hard smack there.
If you watch the last few laps, Dallas has been really holding that inside line, defending it as hard as possible.
I think Dallas's tires, though, are starting to get a little warm from that defensive posture, and I think that's going to be a factor here as we just come into the closing minutes of this race.
The danger of that is if you're trying to pass a tight car on the outside, you're being invited into the wall nearly every lap. We see Red in the picture as well for P6 to join in. The
This
Drax
is what
is
I
going to
asked
send it
for.
on the outside.
That's what I asked for.
As
Outside
requested,
lane.
into the wall. Little touch there. Continuing on.
Keeps
And
Outside
it.
Drax,
lane pass.
we'll
Not
see. It's not
afraid.
quite done now. It is. That's going to
Yeah.
be it. We'll
Not
see what,
afraid of a little contact with the wall, and yeah, that's a move that we saw building. I think Dallas's tires are just not in a position where he's really going to be able to put up a great defense here. And now I think Red Stapler right behind might be sensing a little blood in the water and be looking to pounce here and gaining a position late.
Question is,
Yep,
does Drax have enough time and the pace to catch fisticuffs? I hope not.
2 laps to go.
I don't
Looking
think
at lap
so with this
time,
timing unless
Drax is a
fisticuffs.
10th faster. Not quite enough time. Drax needs another 10th or 2 to make that happen.
No, I think our battle of intrigue right now is Dallas going to be able to hold on with those tires against the charging Red Stapler, who is now really filling up those mirrors.
Once again, Dallas goes defensive. Red takes the outside as a result. Red's looking to cross over. It's the other move here. Dallas defends the crossover, but that's really going to burn the tires to do that. Red looks to the outside
Yeah,
again.
got a lot of
not
pace there on the
seeing
outside line.
crossover. This time it's going to be straight on the outside. I think that crossover defense maybe used the last bit of Dallas's tires here because Red's making this look easy. I say that as Dallas still was defending hard, but clears
Red
here
now
for
is gonna close that door.
P5.
Yep.
We didn't
Yeah,
see
Dallas just getting a little too racy, I think, with Draxend, and now.
I don't think
No.
Drax gave him a choice. He was forcing it.
No.
Oh
No,
no.
Drax forced the issue. That's one of Drax's talents is making the other car use up their stuff. I will
What
say
I'm saying is that if Dallas had been maybe a little bit more strategic in that moment and said, Drax, why don't you go by and I'll keep on your draft, it might be in did he lose another position? Yeah. Zag also
that was
that's
the lap
that
traffic,
car.
yeah. I
Zag
will
is
say,
last.
however, Severin directly behind was challenging, but I think we're at 2 laps to go here, so I don't think there's going to be time for that to happen. Meanwhile, up front, Gargos and Bennett would have kept that half a second or so separation since the last time we saw them. Taking the white flag this time.
Yeah, so Gargos in P1 with a good margin to Ben Serta behind. Fisticuffs says we'll make Banana very happy coming home with a podium here if everything goes well. Draxon then in P4 with a monstrous drive starting P15, and some good luck coming to his aid there as well, but plenty
Drax
of pressure and skill.
11
I mean,
positions.
unbelievable. Yeah, can't say enough about that. And then Red Stapler. So we're checkered flag there, and exciting first heat. I think we got a
little craft party there. That's fine. And I will say, we talked about keeping it clean. The 3 cars on the podium were the only 3 cars with a 0x. So.
Well, these short ovals are definitely about survival, and we definitely see that here. So, but certainly exciting race. I think our battle for the lead early on was certainly arresting for all of our attention. But over time, the incidents and just the mighty drive from Draxon to come from 15th to P4. Lots of interesting storylines there. And another one to go.
Yeah, and we're going to grid them the same way they finished. So Drax is going to be right up there from the front to begin with. We're going to let Ben and Gargos resume their side-by-side battle to start the race, most likely. We're going to have a lot of storylines continuing here. There's a quick little warm-up session. Let folks grab a drink, quick restroom break if they need it. Remember how to drive the car on fresh tires, those types of things.
This is where I always
we'll regrid.
Yeah, this is where, as a VR driver, this is where you got to air your face out just a bit.
Yes,
little...
I am also a VR driver and fully understand.
Well, the intrigue here is, at the front. What did we learn from race 1? What are we going to try differently this time around? And I think interesting bit of a shuffling of the pack, but we have some fast drivers who had some unfortunate incidents there, who might be trying to emulate what Draxon did in that race and kind of come back and get into the top 5. So plenty of intrigue on the table here.
Yeah, and I think the other lesson, at least for me, is passing is hard. There are no easy passes here, so anything to gain free track position, taking advantage of a wreck, starting up front, those are the big advantages. For Ben and Gargos, other than a couple of close calls with lap traffic, their race was relatively boring, and that's what you want at a sort of oval like this. For those who are able to capitalize, there's lots of room to be gained, and for those who aren't able to capitalize, it's very easy to end up a lap or two down, any entry into pit road, and your race is done, really.
Yeah, and
So we have the field gridding here for the second heat. Note, heat, feats, or whatever you want to call it, they're both equal weight in the Gabir Cup.
I'm going to keep my eye on Vivi this race.
Yeah,
I'll tell you, another thing to keep an eye on here is our drivers who gridded 4th, 5th, and 6th in the first race are in 11th, 12th, and 13th, respectively. So we may see a bit of gamesmanship between those three drivers as they attempt to kind of make their way through the pack. They may have a little pace to work with, but they're also going to be racing each other, and that's going to be exciting. So we'll keep an eye on that too.
I assume you were speaking of Dingo, Decker, and Jake?
Correct.
Yes.
So Decker and Jake are both in the Champ Cup, so they're going to be fighting each other very hard, and Dingo is going to try to get any position he can get.
And we're rolling to do it all over again. Once again, 15 minutes, about 50 laps. We snuck in 51 last time. At a very hot Bristol Motor Speedway, the track temperature is 133, so these cars are slidey.
Yeah, it's going to require a good bit of good luck and clean air and control to make sure these tires don't suffer, as we saw from a few of our drivers in that first race. Those tires going off late.
Yep.
Can definitely lose you some points.
I mean, you could fry an egg on this racetrack if you had the money to spare to have an egg.
Yeah, I'd spend $50 just to prove it.
Yeah.
But yeah, track temp 133 Fahrenheit. That is scorching.
I'm going to look forward to Drax chasing down both Ben and Gargos and giving them a good fight.
I wouldn't be surprised if Drax just takes it 3 wide on the start. Take him off guard.
That's normally a Decker move, but you're right. Hive Mind, I can see that happening.
You're on the outside line. You have a bit of momentum if you are able to get a jump on the start. Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of times the second row jumps better than the car on the outside just from visibility. But here we go. Gargos is away. Bit of a checkup immediately on the inside line. That's going to give Drax the room. Drax takes the inside, going to try to keep Ben out there. Gargos clears Ben. Dallas keeps 2x2 here, so we're 2x2.
Bit of a wiggle, though, on the exit from Gargos that opens the door for Ben to get back in, but inside line prevails for now.
Clear. Good battle now with Drax, Dallas, and now Fisticuffs getting involved. Fisticuffs hits the apron in a slow. Fisticuffs down. Dallas gets a bit too wide there, and Drax clears for P3.
Yeah, so top 5 are settling into a straight line here for now.
Yep, I don't think they're going to stay that way for long, to be honest.
Red Stapler now side by side with Bryce.
That's surprisingly pushy for Gargos to be trying to get that far ahead so early. His tires are going to be
Ooh, Gargos taps the wall at about 5 cars follow that line straight in. Notably, Ben doesn't. Gives Ben a bit of breathing space over Drax, and that's a common thing. Follow the leader all the way into the wall.
And Bryce holds the outside line against Red Stapler, and now Red Stapler is at risk here of... Oh, sorry, is that not... That wasn't Bryce. I apologize. That
was Vivi.
Vivi, yeah, as you said, a contender in the electric cow livery. And now Red Stapler is under pressure here from Dingo and Bryce. And Chris Decker there on the outside line.
Yeah, we're talking about Decker trying to make that run. Already gained a couple spots here, trying to gain a couple more as the field is relatively packed up. Get the passes done while you can.
Yeah,
we
we've got a
thought Jake
gaggle
was
of
going to be
cars
joining
there.
them,
Yep.
but Jake seems to be left behind.
Yep.
Well, P7 through what is it? 12, 13 is all up for grabs as it remains a side-by-side pack race here, and
Yeah, I think the
drivers
problem.
trading lines.
I think the problem is Agron's lap down, possibly with some damage, sort of holding up the line that Zags is in, and that's sort of causing some chaos around as folks try to navigate the traffic. You see Decker did a really good job of doing that, gained a few spots, and is now very quickly pulling away to sort of join the front single file line here.
We've got Dingo and Red Stapler both driving inside the Eagle, trying to fight each other, get each other up there, maybe to catch VV and Fisticuffs. Fisticuffs is losing position to VV, I think, unfortunately.
Vivi
did
with
say watch Vivi,
just
though.
a blistering start here. has been able to put the pressure on. Ooh, and a bit of a tap
there. Red's going to take advantage of that. Looks
Dingo
like
sending
3
it
wide.
3
on the inside.
3 wide. That's not going to work for very long here at Bristol, and they tapped.
Wow.
They go a little side by
Vivi
side.
loses
Wow.
many positions. Now Decker's going to take advantage of that.
Yeah, Vivi just in a position where had to check up or wreck, and decided to check up and live to fight another day. Probably a wise decision
Yeah,
from
that
Vivi.
is the right answer in that scenario.
And but under pressure now from Decker, but can Vivi recover? I mean, the pace early on from Vivi was great, but you got to wonder if the tires are getting a little bit cooked there in that situation, or just kind of having to deal with the 3 wide was maybe just a bit of a defensive moment. We'll see, but Decker now prying open on the inside line.
Yep, this battle continues on. Meanwhile, up front, the top 3, Gargos, Ben, and Drax, are content to run single file away. Dallas has been dropped a little bit from that group, but still is within touch, and then we're back to this sort of gaggle from really P4 all the way to probably about P10 here. They're starting to spread out single file, but there's still some opportunities. You know, Decker's looking to make the move on Vivi. Wardingle's looking to make the move on Red, and some lap traffic might be interfering with the leaders shortly.
Yeah, navigating traffic is an unfortunate pain that our leaders are going to have to deal with, but it's something that we will all have to deal with.
It's a necessary
here.
skill.
Yep, Dingo looking to the inside of Red. Red's going to defend that line, close that door. This group's going to be coming up to the lap traffic. Meanwhile, for the lead, Ben is on the inside of Gargos. Ben is looking to do it on the inside.
Is Gargos trying to save his tires?
Gargos doesn't let that happen. Gets the run on the outside to clear again.
Yeah, good calm reaction there from Gargos, not overreacting and just maintaining the line, holding the outside and the momentum and being able to live to fight it for a few more laps, although the pressure, again, from Ben is beginning to mount.
Yep. Once again, Wardingle looking to make another move on Red here around some lap traffic. To break it up, looks like Fisticuffs gets a pretty decent wall hit there. Going to let Red close up, and we've really got now a 5-way fight for P5. Red goes to the inside of Fisticuffs. Will the tires let Red do it on the inside? Looks like it so far, side by side into the T1. Wardingle looking to see who's faster. Wardingle applies a bumper. Meanwhile, Fisticuffs is into the wall.
Yeah, it's a bit of a wash there in terms of the impact of the impact.
Yeah. Fortunately, 3 wide here is a dangerous move to try to do, so not a whole lot of folks are doing it, but Wardingle will do it if the opportunity presents here. It looks like
follow
on the outside of Red. I mean, the outside may be the way to get it done. Just pinch the inside exit, force the tire wear, heat them up, and get
is
the pass done.
definitely pulling off the pinch now and getting just that easier entry, less wear on the tires.
And that's next. Maybe a crossover. Dingo really wants the outside, and Fisticuff says no. You cannot have the outside.
And now Red is going to try and look and cover off Vivi here, who is putting pressure on.
Wardingle goes to the inside now, sort of force that way from Fisticuffs while you have the momentum. You got to take it. You can see there, Fisticuffs holding strong on the outside. Oof. Yeah, Fisticuffs is really loose on the exits out there, and Wardingo has to give it a little extra space, which unfortunately pinches off the exit and doesn't allow that momentum to happen. A very quick block of Vivi there, and now we're 3 wide again. Nope, Vivi's in the wall. Maybe got a little surprised by that aggressive spot
Yeah, that
block.
was.
Loses a spot to Decker in the process, it looks like. No, there. Vivi's going to hold strong on the outside. I think the outside may be the way to go.
Yeah,
Immediately
Vivi
puts a move
tons of
on Red.
momentum here with Red. Able to hold that inside line, but then here on the straight, just and Red trying to cover it off and a little contact.
There.
I think Red is aware that outside line is going to be faster on the exit and is trying to take up as much track as he can, and just keeping that rear bumper just in front, and just it's a game of inches out here, but I think Red is hoping to make his car many inches wide.
Yes. I will say, really good battle here. Vivi's going to go to the inside of Red now. Red stays strong on the outside, but maybe hasn't gone outside enough to get the momentum. Vivi was able to diamond the middle
got
to
the
keep
outside
that
lane
runoff.
pass. He loves that outside lane.
Yep,
Well, it seems like that is potentially the line here, and now Chris Decker applying a little pressure as Vivi is now in front of Red Stapler, but that battle is far from over.
Yep. I will say, Jay One Letter has gained a couple spots here. As this whole sort of battle has really slowed up the back half of the field here and let everybody sort of catch back up into this big gaggle. Wardingo's going to try to run away at this point. Plenty of time to try to catch that lead pack if the tires allow for it. The lead pack continues to just be the lead pack as they've been all night long. And this is where the action is right now.
Dingo is currently most positions gained this race. He's moved 7 positions. And it shows.
Yep. One Letter looks inside of Decker. Not quite enough time or space to get that. Did I say that? Gets a nose under. Decker's going to have the momentum, but is going to have to stay to the outside. Decker really sends it on the outside there, and that's going to end that fight for at least this lap. 6 minutes to go here. Up front, Drax is starting to apply a little bit of pressure to Ben here, but still hasn't really made a move yet. I will say Wardingo is really not being successful in the runaway strategy and is still within range of another attempt from Fisticuffs here. Meanwhile,
although Fisticuffs may be preoccupied here with the charging electric cow livery of our friend Vivi, who is in P7 and looking to continue to maximize the pace here. You got to wonder, Vivi's been able to be aggressive in this entire race.
To be
Are
fair,
the tires
on
going to hold?
He is currently sitting second for the Gabir Cup. His next 3 opponents are all Champ Cup drivers.
And that's fair. I will say what Vivi's doing differently to make the inside work is you'll notice Vivi drifts up a little in the middle usually and gets the diamond going. And that sort of negates that pinch a little bit. It's hard to do at Bristol, but it can be done, especially if the person on the outside gives you the space to do it. But it looks like Vivi's going to go more traditional on the outside of Fisticuffs here, which how loose Fisticuffs has been on the exit sometimes is a little dangerous, but it looks like Vivi's going to clear before that danger zone, make it all a moot point. Red's going to look to follow, but Fisticuffs is going to close that door. Meanwhile, Drax is tried to make a move on Ben on the outside. Ben pinched it off on the exit to prevent that from happening. Drax is looking pretty hard, really applying the pressure now, forcing Ben onto a defensive line. Meanwhile, now Red has a nose inside of Fisticuffs for P7. A lot going on here in the closing minutes. But Fisticuffs keeps strong on the outside while Drax has a nose on the inside for P2. Side by side into turn 3.
And this is... Oh, he gets a little loose on the apron.
A little loose, and that's going to end that for now. But there is time to mount the challenge again.
I was just about to say, this is going to be the opportunity for Drax if he can get by to chase down Gargos, but that little mistake may have just cost the time he needed.
Yep, and that gives Gargos a bit of breathing room, and 3/4 of a second is all the room you need at Bristol. Everything is sort of sorted out. I say that, and immediately Decker hits the wall, and Jay gets a nose inside for P9. That's going to resolve pretty quickly. Decker has the momentum on the outside. Meanwhile, we see Drax on the inside of Ben. Side by side for P9. Really close battling here. Too many battles
Yeah,
to
this
look
one's
at
gonna
right
go
now.
on. This one is the one to focus on. It's for a podium or a P2 position. As Drax is still looking on the inside.
Yep.
If you have the grip at this point, Ben touches the wall. That might open the door here a bit for Draxon to
It's that
really
diamond, that
be
little
aggressive.
drift up the middle allows Drax to get to run on the exit. That's how you negate the outside here, and Drax is a master at that type of move. And Ben closes off the diamond, and you're going to see Ben's going to get the momentum from that. Ben has figured out the counter to how Drax has been doing it. Not that time though. Drax gets a little up, gets down, and you see Drax gets the momentum off. No, not as much that time, but not enough for Ben to clear.
Yeah, enough to
And
keep your nose in. But
that time Drax overdoes the entry, and that does it.
Yeah, I was going to say, how many of these corners can you do before the rear tires start to really complain and protest, and you've got to do a correction mid corner? And we saw it there from Draxon, and now has to tuck in behind Ben.
And also tucked in behind is Dallas, who's taking advantage of that to close things back up.
And Red Stapler.
Continue to work fisticuffs on the inside. Been doing that for the last 5 minutes or so, on and off. You can see those two wildly different lines they're running, but with the space to diamond, you can make the inside work here. Drax, on the meanwhile, is making another run at Ben. The exact same we saw a minute ago. Drax gets the diamond. Ben tries to pinch it off. Is a little late. Drax gets the momentum a little bit, just enough to negate that outside momentum you normally see. Drax might force the issue here, pushes Ben into the wall. I don't think that was intentional, but just that little nudge made all the difference there. We'll see what Ben does in return here, but also involved now with Dallas.
Threat now. Yeah.
I think Drax is firmly in they call it a bump and run because the key sentence is run. So Drax is running, and Dallas may provide some cover for that.
I think Drax left just enough space for Ben, but just the forcing of the issue just caused a bit of the bump into the wall there, and now Dallas looking with a nose on the inside, but I don't think that's going to be
minute to go. 3 laps, give or take, maybe 4. Drax is clearly going to run away. Gargos has this in the bag, barring a big mistake. Now it's this P3 battle.
Yeah, did Ben cook his tires with that aggressive maneuvering from Drax, forcing Ben to really hold his ground? And now we got the 444 car of Dallas, who's applying all that pressure. Yep,
and this matters for the Champions Cup. You know, Drax has the lead for that, but this is for P2 in the Championship Cup. And most importantly, you know, if Dallas gets by, that might have some impacts for the overall results tonight too.
Well,
15 seconds to go. Looks like Gargos is taking the white flag now. Yep, the white flag is out. Final lap here at Bristol. Gonna take a big send from Dallas to get it done. Dallas is looking on the inside. Has the grip, does it. Going to be a big send here to force the issue. They both send it.
Can he stick it?
Ben pinches down. You're going to have to run someone into the wall, and Ben has it. Meanwhile, Gargos takes the win. Drax P2 overall. Ben P3, Dallas P4. Wardingo keeps VV behind for P5. VV 6. Red Stapler 7th. Stecker up to 8th. 1 letter 9th. Severin 10th. And then Fisticuffs 11th, Bryce 12th, Keymaster 13th, the Fat Baron 14th, McRibs 15th, the Classy Fen 16th, Zag 17th, and Albert rounds out the field in 18th, but looks like disconnected relatively early on.
Exciting stuff.
That's going to conclude week 1 here, and
yeah, we'll figure out who our points winners are here overall. But
yeah, it looks like, I mean, we know overall for the Premier Cup it's Gargos, and I think for the Championship Cup it's gonna be Ben, a P2 and a P3, which really translates to a P1 and a P2 versus for Drax it looks like
the
a
Champions
P3
Cup doesn't have
P1.
separate scoring, so Drax scored 2nd place in the 2nd race. He needed to pass Gargos to get 1st place points. It's only the Gabir Cup that scores without considering the Champions Cup.
That is good to know. So in that case, it is going to be Ben who gets the Champions Cup most points here. As we see Gargos actually going on to victory lane. I did not know you could drive up there.
I did not know. Let me get this off so we can see the boy.
All right, let me jump down and
Okay.
see if we can grab those guys for an interview. I'll be back.
Yep.
While he's doing that, I will go ahead and get ready for the livery parade. Those joining in, great racing in fisticuffs. Fuck yeah, dude. I was rooting for you in the first race. Jay, you also did well, but fisticuffs was in a casino, and, well, I got to root for the casino.
But sorry.
Butts.
Welcome, boys.
Welcome, and we teased a new post-race segment earlier on, and we have our winners up here to chat about the fun of Bristol's into street stocks. Gargos, we'll start with you. Honestly, 2-0X's at Bristol, 100 laps, at least 10 laps of side-by-side racing. How was it for you?
It was pretty interesting. It was certainly not what we expected. We thought our race was going to be at night. We were going to be full throttle around the track, and it turned out to be anything but that.
And Ben, obviously, we know you would have wanted the overall win, but getting the points for the Champions Cup as you start your campaign to get 4 in a row. What's the pressure like of knowing that you're trying to be the first, and as far as I know, only person to win 4 championships in a row here?
I didn't know that stat, and thanks for the pressure.
Anytime. That's we're here to ramp that up for you. Ben, how was your race? You had some really close fights with a lot of folks.
It was all right. I was just using up the tires too much, and I couldn't quite get the different track conditions quite right because it was a nighttime race and not 130-degree track temp for all of practice. So it was a struggle.
And Gargos, how long have you known that you can drive into victory lane here? How long have you been practicing that move in anticipation for tonight?
That was about 2 seconds before I did it. Thanks to Drax telling me I could do it.
Well, Drax probably knows better than anybody how to get to victory lane on any of these oval races. But
if I
we'd like to
recall
see
correctly, that's like an addition this season. So like, yeah,
Kitty.
Yeah, that's Gargos' cat. We're always a fan.
Celebrating the victory.
Yes.
I'd just like to point out, Gargos, rear bumper has looked better. Someone was making great use of that.
I think that was a little bit of the victory celebration at the end with a certain
that's fair.
DuPont car.
And you know we love to see that. So in the first heat, both of you were really side by.
I was just making him legal, okay?
We'll make sure the stewards don't hear that. No, so for the first race, the two of you were side by side for about 6 laps or so before, unfortunately, a lap car interfered there. What happened there to, what was that side by side racing like, and what sort of happened there to break that all up in the first heat?
Yeah, that was good. I don't think that would have been possible in our earlier practice sessions in the night. So I think having this daytime race kind of put that control back into our hands there a little bit and allowed the outside line to have a better run.
It was fun. What I was trying to do was I was trying to keep him pinched on the bottom line and remove his run out or his exit pretty much. Unfortunately, there was a lap car up high that we needed to get by, and then there was another car spinning in front that turned it into a bit of an adventure.
That's Bristol.
Yep.
Well, I appreciate you guys. We'll let you go back and join up with the rest of the crew and gloat a little bit. But thanks for joining us, and I think we'll jump into livery parade, CSI racing, and the rest of it as we've successfully filled enough time to do that transition. So thanks, guys. Congrats on the win and great race.
Thank you.
Butts. Yes, indeed.
And we can see from the chat, we have a whole bunch of folks in chat. Welcome everybody to the to the new streaming platform for all of your Gabir race broadcasting needs.
Oh, I'm finding that we should have made sure we let those guys get their sponsors shout outs out, but that's a note for next time. Thanks, Chad.
They should just throw that in anyway. They said no. The first answer to the first question is just to thank your sponsors, regardless of what the question is.
Yeah, I want to thank Rolex, because without Rolex, nothing's possible. So write that down.
Yep. So yeah, I think we were promised a livery parade here.
Yes, it'd also help if I unmuted myself. I do believe Gargos' sponsor would be Happy Trees.
Yes. As a note, I don't believe there was a livery theme this week.
I don't believe so.
No, this will be a grab bag of livery themes past, which is always a fun adventure for us to figure out what the theme is. I know we did Legos with these cars. We definitely have a Bob Ross theme, which I love to see.
Yep.
I don't do it the same way that Red does. I don't know how he does it, where he goes by the numbers.
Do it your way, bud.
So yeah, we'll just do it in my classic way. We just gotta get the camera to come in. All right, starting off with Gargos. Yes, Bob Ross. We've seen a lot of this car in the last 5 minutes.
Yep.
Let me
What is
tell
there
you.
to say?
I mean, what is there to say? One of the greatest people.
I question
to
if
ever
this is a
exist.
weed reference with Happy Trees, but nah.
Hold on, wait.
It's
do you
legal.
not know
It's
Bob
legal.
Ross?
It's legal in most states. So
Of course I know Bob Ross, but also like
Okay.
Happy Trees,
Happy little trees. Smack the demon out of it.
yep. The Bob Ross painting challenge.
Beautiful.
Love Bob Ross. We miss you, Bob.
Yes, we do.
We went on to Ben.
Ben and the classic Jeff Gordon theme that Ben loves so much and will shoehorn into literally any car. Even though I question if some of those contingency sponsors are actually have been run by Jeff Gordon, including YouTube, which I think postdates Gordon by about a decade, and Vegemite, which I'm pretty sure is from the wrong hemisphere.
Yeah, I just noticed that too.
Yeah, if you're watching this bright and early in our morning tomorrow and from Australia, good
Welcome.
shout out on the Vegemite.
Good morning, and
we're here for you.
Please let us know how the future is.
Oh, let's not forget the tiny little Pepsi Cola.
We're being informed that 39 states have approved medical marijuana and 25 recreationally, which is which I'm surprised people could pull that stat up so quickly.
Wait, 39 plus 25 is not. Hang on.
No, 39 states for medical.
I know, I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
Recreational. All right, Facey Cuffs. Yes, the casino.
Yep, our
such a
one and
good
only
body.
Casino Street Stock is our
Was this
first
really
time
the
running
only
all
casino?
three. Only casino. We had 3 Eagles, 1 Casino, and the rest were Panthers.
The Voodoo Ranger from Fisticuffs we've seen a lot. I love by the way, just the redoing of the Send It logo there on the side to match with the brew label. I always like to see a little redo of the colors, and I think this works really well actually for Send It.
It gives me lowrider vibes. I was recently at a museum in Los Angeles that had a lowrider exhibit, and this sort of gives me those same type of vibes.
Hitting the corners in the Molos.
Yep.
Get these cars a little flatter so we can see everything around.
Yep.
Holy blur,
whoa.
baby. Let me turn that off.
What are cameras like? How do cameras work?
I don't think that's enough. There we go.
I will say in the chat we have a new Prime subscriber, Banana. I don't know what your protocol is for such things.
Wow.
It's Red Stapler, who's very relieved to not have to do this
money.
broadcast, probably. So.
Well, yeah, extra money from Bezos. It's Bezos' money.
Yes, it's
fine.
a Prime subscription.
Money is money.
Hey, Dingo, come on. You should be next. I know we got Prime.
Meanwhile, the Voodoo Ranger Send It livery, very nice use of color, very nice livery overall.
Some of these settings.
As we mess with camera settings, this is the first. We're doing some growing pains. It's all good.
So
did we skip? Did we skip Draxon?
We
did because of the positioning. You're right.
There's Draxon, solid red.
Lego.
Yeah,
Lego
red.
Yep. We mentioned the Lego
nope.
livery theme was one of the past ones here, so good to see that one.
Yep, don't
That
want to step on
resurfaced.
that car at all.
Yeah, don't say. You know when you see drivers win, they celebrate by getting on top of their cars. I don't think you do
Don't
that. on
do
this
that
one.
here.
Very simple.
Yep.
Very, very simple.
Lego
I think-
team, Lego car, very simple.
A little extra drag.
Didn't we have like a Lego week or something like that?
Yeah.
We did. Yep, that's where it was from.
Yeah, I did the
I remember.
GLHF logo in
You're
using
right,
the
you
Duplo things, and it was that was one of my most proud liveries that I've done.
I think I remember Bryce doing a rainbow Kabir one as well. Let's see, Dallas. Okay.
Like is this the wood paneling here?
It's just a
Calif.
classic tan
Yeah.
Pontiac Trans Am. I love the
California
fact
license plate.
that we have 2 Trans
powder blue.
Ams in this race.
I love the powder
only
blue
one,
license plate.
Yeah, that's classic. There's only one, however, that has the best livery. But I love the fact that we have 2 Trans Am liveries.
Yep.
Oh, we got another sub, Zach.
We got
Thank you,
multiple
Zach.
subs
Thank you,
going on
Dingo.
here. We got a sub train going
Dingo.
on now.
We got Gargos, we got Dingo, we got Dag.
after saying that Dingo was already sub, then proceeds to actually sub.
Called out.
I can see how many at the top, and I know how Prime works. It's dumb that you had to do it every single month with Prime.
It is.
Now, Red. Overall, I do really like this livery. I think it's very simple and also very charming. But why candy corn, man?
Yeah, candy corn's trash.
Candy
Wasn't
corn
this
is
like
garbage.
Don't at me.
Wasn't this from some Bad Candy Week or something? I thought we had a Bad Candy.
I
theme
don't
or
believe
something
we've
for
driven
Halloween.
the street
I
stocks
think we had a Halloween
since
theme and
the new bodies. I don't think so.
That's true, and this is the new Eagle, so that does pose a question. Yeah.
Yeah, Red, what's up with the candy corn? Also, I think chat's on a bit of a delay for us, so we'll keep up.
It is. Yes, my stream is delayed.
There used to be a rumor back in the day that if you ever had a full white candy corn, you could trade it in for a pound of free candy corn. I don't know if that was made up like the
snap.
star. Oh, we've got
Bender
banners
straight up
going on.
dropping cash.
And
I'm sorry.
here we go.
That does technically make his subscription better than the rest. I'm sorry because that's his cash, not Bezos's cash.
Jeez, no,
Wow.
spend billionaire cash, everybody. If you want to
Thank you,
spend billionaire
Ben.
cash.
We have been advised that the candy corn on the hood is acceptably cute because
It
of
is.
the witch
It's
hat.
very, very, very cute. I want to
it is
say there's
fine.
even a squishmallow of that.
Lovely.
But
There are
yeah,
now
this
very much
candy corn.
candy corn's a very controversial type of candy.
Very.
It's not a very controversial corn. The controversy is around the candy, not the corn part of it, because everyone agrees it's not corn.
Fisticuffs, don't leave. I'll give you all my candy corn because I hate it because it's terrible.
So
Next, we have the
VV,
cow.
the mad
electric
cow
cow.
herself.
Stormed through the field.
Yeah, quite a performance there from VV, and just nice chrome spec map here.
Yep.
Wow, that's not even an electric. That's just a chrome cap.
Yeah.
I thought it was blue, but it's just the reflection of this
New lighting.
unbelievable scale. That's great. Wow.
Look at these reflections. My old computer wouldn't have been able to do this.
Damn, VV looking sharp.
That is good. I will say, if you're flying over the field that cow is in, prepare to be blinded.
Yes, very much. I'm going to use my last snooze on this ad break for those who are not subscribed to give us an extra 5 minutes. Try to get through this livery parade. I had some unfortunate timing during the race I want to avoid. But yes, very, very nice. Damn, that chrome looks good in the new lighting system.
I enjoyed a little colors on the numbers there. Very appropriate.
Yes. Love them.
Yep.
All right, I think I know who made this.
Severin with a very nice color theory livery here. I always like the people who know color theory beyond the primary colors, and this is a great example of that type of livery.
Yes, the GLHF colors are they look good in this config and on this car. And Severin with I think Severin, this is a Severin original, and this is a good look.
It's very, very clean, very simple, not too flashy, but very memorable.
Yeah, we'll see another one that looks a lot like it here.
Yep.
Not too far away.
Well, maybe a little further away. He had some unfortunateness tonight. Child's Play. Love
Yep.
it.
If you're looking for a charity, give that one a look.
Jay.
Hey.
Oh my goodness. It's Zay.
We got Z.
We've got Z, and we've got some Rosarts tests, I think. I'd like to know how Z to Wonderful and Rosart's ink blob tests relate to each other, but that's probably a question for another night.
Yeah, no, clearly. Like,
Every
the
Rorschach
stuff
test
is like, whatever. Z.
Yeah,
What
when
do
I see
you
Z,
see?
I see Z. You know, he's just.
What do you
Look at that
see?
tongue.
That middle one's a bit suggestive.
Left side, I see a boss from Breath of the Wild, like one of those Hinoxes.
Okay, I see butterflies personally.
I mean, you can kind of
Oh,
almost see
you're so
like a
pragmatic,
bulldog
Peter.
in that.
Yeah.
I see a dragonfly, pragmantis. I don't know. Symmetry is hard.
Yeah, we can pull out a big book and probably tell us what's all mentally wrong with
two
us.
bears. I see two bears high-fiving.
There you go.
I just earned a hype chest.
That's some streamer stuff.
That's high level streamer stuff apparently. You now earn. Does the test require like a $5 fee to open?
We only got 5 minutes. Let's get through this before the ads. Come on now.
Get the chill girl emote. There we go.
Okay.
Oh jeez, he's got ADD. You got the ADD.
Well, now we've already got it in the chat, so that if you need to see it, there it is. Meanwhile, we have Bryce with the. I know there's a technical name for this. I just view it as like the blue tile livery. It's very
Mosaic?
lovely.
Yeah.
Mosaic. You would put it on your kitchen, maybe on your terracotta roof.
Yeah, this has been a theme for Bryce recently, but it looks good on just about every car, and probably doesn't require a ton of overthinking of things, which is always a nice thing if you're a professional with a life.
Yep.
I tend to overdo it when I do liveries, and
you want
my personal and professional life suffer.
You want your practice time to be all about racing and not about painting, and I respect that.
Yep. Okay. Bryce, all business as usual.
I am focusing. I have to get the camera to work because we weren't spinning off the middle of the car anymore. All right, Decker.
Decker.
I thought at first when I saw this that it was supposed to be like a not quite direct copy of Rexy because of the whole Rexy and the AO Team Racing incident. But then I saw that it was Trogdor, and I was like, never mind. It's based on it, but it's Trogdor.
Yes, this is what we call transformative and original.
Yes, that's important. That it's transformative and original.
If you need a lawyer, I know one. If you operate within the states of Ohio, Kentucky, West Virginia, Michigan.
Decker,
I know one as well for Connecticut, but I can let you know her focus is on something very different than copyright law.
All right, now we move on to the best Trans Am livery.
Oh, who's biased?
Just the way.
I mean, it's truly Trans Am though, and it's a
It is a Trans Am livery. I don't think anybody can deny that. We've got a Georgia license plate.
It's Bandit 1.
Okay.
It's a classic.
Yep.
Very classic. Love it, and it works
I
so
like
well
the
with
slip
that hood.
pan. Yeah, the Fanatec does kind of ruin the vibe a bit, you know.
I've seen worse.
Just saying.
But yes, love it. All right. Now, I'm sure you're a little biased on this one.
It's terrible, and I hate it. And
Let's.
Well, it's a bit of a reverse of Severin's car, and we heaped praise on that. And
We got
how
5
could you-
more cars to do, but we have to take a second and let the ad
Oh,
go
yeah.
through for people.
Well, we'll be back after these brief commercial break. I don't know how to do an outro to a commercial break. No one taught me this in broadcast school.
Yeah, it's
You went to school?
No, actually, technically, we had like one class period in my meteorology degree where we talked about like being a broadcast meteorologist.
You know what I just realized the issue is? I've been focused with this using TV1. Chase is a lot fucking better for looking at the center of a car.
you blew it.
Wow. I fucked
Anyway,
that
we'll
up.
be back.
My one chance. I gotta retire already.
See you next
Shameful.
season.
No, you're doing good.
I don't know if the ad is done. It's not telling me. I'm hoping it is. We're gonna assume it is because it's only a minute and a half. So, all right, Abner, tell us about your car. Or is this another one made by Severin? Did it just tell me that the ad break is now going on? What the?
I mean, for what it's worth, the ads on the stream that I'm watching is what just started.
Be sure to load the camera.
Everybody's yelling in all caps in chat. I don't know.
Clearly have a Pontiac.
They're yelling at each
This
other,
thing's
not at us.
closer.
So that's good. But
Just give
That's
me the
good.
right to be wrong. Being wrong is my religion. How dare you? Your religion is bad, and you should feel bad. I don't get.
We'd
what
like to know
that
at this
means,
time that
though.
the stream does not have official opinions on religions and their goodness and or badness.
Oh, Raptors, you shouldn't have shown me that. That is a good idea. But what do you mean by load the camera for the track again? Because I fucked up? Yeah, I fucked up. I admit it. I goofed. I done goofed.
are we back? Are we live?
Mine's
I'm
not
not going to
live.
pull a Kyle Larson.
Not quite.
Find out.
Down, Abner. Down.
I don't say that word, but
Bryce would like to let you know, Abner, that Bryce is specifically yelling at you.
well, I
And-
guess
and
they
for-
can hear us, so
and-
I guess we can continue.
Yeah, for what it's worth, my ad break has concluded.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we have to assume about that. So, Abner, is this another Severin one?
I believe Severin made this one, yeah. But look at that drop shadow on the numbers, and
Oh,
we got touches here, nice light touches, and a good spec map. Look at that new lighting model, really HDR going to the max. It's a
Yeah.
J.J. Abrams film with all that lens flare.
Lens flare. I can go back to VV's cow if you want.
Yeah.
I
I need my
How do you
ID
define pulling a
functional
Kyle
tomorrow.
Larson?
Winning.
I'm not going to define anything.
Yeah. We're at the wrong track for that. McRibs is in the McRibs livery.
Classic. No changes needed. Perfection.
To quote the young ones, 10 out of 10, no notes.
10 out of 10. Although, gotta wonder what happened to that fender already. This is
This is during the pay slap, if I understand
space
it.
lab. Like, what happened?
That's a question maybe for the next segment. We can.
But how? Who?
What are you doing?
When? Trying to find out who scratches. Oh,
Oh,
we missed somebody because of that. So I think Zag has an issue right here. Oh, yep. there we go.
oh,
Zach
Yeah.
says VR failed.
that would do it.
Gotcha. All right. Well, real quick, because we missed him. It's a good thing I went back.
Yeah.
I also remember everyone else I haven't seen, so don't worry. I know those two up there are. Zag running the Cody's Reliable Grease Trap Service. Very
Okay.
orange.
Very orange. We have the UNO8 contingency livery. Everyone, of course, knowing that's for the University of Northwestern Ohio.
Yes, everyone knew that.
Yeah, I totally didn't look that up at the start of the race when I saw the decal on the track. I will say the red headlights are a violation of the vehicle code in pretty much every single state, unfortunately. So we do have to deduct a couple points for that.
Whoops.
I add points to it.
That's fair. I mean, it depends on your point of view on
You're an
legality
outlaw.
of vehicles. Yeah.
Yeehaw, fuck the law.
I will note the number here, 314. We had Pi Day last Thursday, so maybe it's a late Pi Day livery, seeing how we weren't really racing that day.
I mean, we were racing, just other things.
Yeah, when I said sort of racing that day.
It was week 13.
Yeah, I figured his wheel disconnect the way it's only fired off to the left like that.
Yeah.
All right, moving up real quick to Baron.
What do we have here? We have
Titanic 3, the Snyder Cut.
3, the Snyder. Okay.
What?
I wasn't even aware of Titanic. I'll be honest, I wasn't aware of Titanic 2. I wasn't aware that they had made a sequel of that movie.
Why would
They
it be a sequel-worthy movie?
They did actually make a Titanic 2.
Does the boat sink again?
Listen, the only Titanic sequel that I recognize is the Futurama spoof episode of Titanic.
Thank you.
I mean, you could argue that another craft has sunk near there. It technically imploded. I guess that's Titanic 2.
Sure, let's go with that.
Yeah,
sure.
I believe
Either
this
way.
was movies that didn't need a sequel.
Unwanted sequels.
That's fair. That would be a very unwanted sequel.
The Snyder Cut, especially. That's a good touch. That's pretty funny.
Very close up. Damn. Where's Leo? There he is.
Yep, just Leo's forehead.
Albert, Leaping Frog.
Leaping Frog livery.
I find it hilarious, the innocence of this livery contrasted with the 666 Devil car. I just think it's a nice little juxtaposition, and I just wanted to call that out. I find that very funny.
That's fair. I like the sort of cotton candy looking colors. It's a very well done livery for it.
It is very nice.
I'm finding that week was the Titanic 3 week was movie sequels and things Abner's dad should stop buying.
Buy all the bananas.
Oh, I went over there just the other day, and he's still on his shit. So don't worry, guys.
And we have Animal Crossing, a famous game that's all about the perils of mortgages and high interest rates.
And selling your neighbor's stuff.
It's relaxing. Oh, now we got Doom.
And also Doom, the video game about saving the world, I think. Yes.
From a portal to literal hell. So a good juxtaposition here too.
No. It's bill collectors.
Well, I mean, we all know hell's in Michigan. They have a festival every year when it freezes over. It's a small town. I don't know why everyone talks about it so much. It's just a small town in Michigan.
Yeah, Michigan freezes over a lot. I'm with you.
Yeah, I don't know why they have to have a festival about hell freezing over every year, but they do. Apparently, it's a big deal.
We're gonna set a record for longest stream ever, by the way, guys. We need
I always do. So Classy says this car is actually not done. He wanted to put Isabel and the Slayer on it, plus a proper transition. It's also celebrating the 5th anniversary of the Doom Eternal and Animal Crossing New Horizons. This is also our 5th year, if I remember correctly, of the league.
That's true. It's the very number theory for the number 5, and there's a 5. It's the 6-5 tree car. Well, I obviously don't need to draw the conclusions. They're pretty self-apparent.
Yep, it's 5 years of me doing everything I can to not drive. Broadcast, steward.
Okay, now for the part everyone has been wanting to see. It's time for CSI racing.
Wait, how many ways are there to crash a computer?
Let's find out.
Hey everyone, it's me, Skiggity! Did you know there's more than one way to crash a computer?
There's going to be a lot of them. And make sure I have my controls set. Replay incidents. Yep. All right, we're ready to go looking. We are in the features. Let's go back. Do a quick scan of Heat 1.
I'm just laughing at the red stapler. Just heard it on the stream with the delay. Great stuff.
Yeah.
Let's see. I know we had a pretty big incident here.
Yeah, there's a little wall
Oh,
tap,
there
but
it
there we
was.
go. Wall tap,
Yeah,
McRib
ooh.
spin, zag around. Ooh, and then there's just some assorted random hits there. So it looks like
It was an initial contact between VV and McCribs, just slightly,
McRibs.
that caused him to have to catch the car, which brought him back off the wall, down into Zag, and it looks like a little
And-
net code helped.
Yep, Zags gets spun, VV hits McRibs, they both spin.
Yeah, unfortunate there. And the camera angle a bit,
Yeah,
bit wild with the
kinda
swinging, but that's the geometry.
Yep.
And if I remember correctly, around this point, the leaders come up.
Yep, there's the leaders 2x2.
Nearly contact.
Yeah, and here we have
2 brown pants moments.
Yep.
See, McCribs.
Next
Oh,
little
goes up a
contact
little high.
there. Oop. Gets spun as a result.
Cut on Jay. Ooh.
And then a little incidental contact with
A little final slap from Albert, like, just in
yeah.
case, stay down.
Yeah. Albert may have kept the foot in there a bit much, but
I
you never
didn't
know.
say it was your fault, Vivi. I'm saying
And then
what
there's the
caused boom.
leaders.
Yeah, so
And
this
that's what
McRibs
starts. Yeah, and that
trying to
starts the
back
next
down
sort
over
of
the line.
sequence that ends the battle for the leaders initially and causes a bit more chaos.
You think there was just a bit of an issue trying to find reverse there for McRibs and
Yeah, and I think
not
maybe it was
being able
getting
to kind of quickly get down off of the line.
yeah.
That's the last thing you want to see going into a turn, racing for the lead. You got a lap car directly in front of you and a car sideways in the middle of the track in a turn.
Yep.
Yeah, and that's gonna kick off a whole series of chaotic incidents there.
Yep.
Zag,
Which we all know you're here to see.
it's not always gonna be your week, Zag. This is it's called the blender for a reason.
Bristol's a tough track for everybody, and so yeah, Ben with just a
Ben just
having to
fucking
do
throwing
a
it
major
in there.
checkup.
Yep.
Ben's like, there's a gap. There might be a car to
There's
my
a
left.
gap. That's fine.
I think Ben was in survival mode there. I don't think there was any kind of conscious thought
No,
going. I think
there's
Ben
no
was
time for
saying,
conscious
"There's
thought there.
I can put this car where nobody's going to get
Yeah.
extremely dead." And I think,
Yeah.
just the circumstances are what they are. I think Ben was lining up for an inside line and probably didn't see this car until it was too late for the tires to do much. And
Yep.
I think that's where we get the contact with Gargos.
Yes.
Ben goes
two
super
cars in
loose.
one
Gargos takes up the
space.
inside line, corrects Ben a little bit.
Yeah, they sort of all end up correcting going the same way. Unfortunately, the same will not be true for the rest of the field.
Yeah, and I think everybody here up front, very fortunate just to keep it going. The way it worked out in the contact, but definitely people losing time, and then that chaos kind of shuffles its way back through the field, and yeah, we'll set up for another bit of chaos here, I think, shortly.
Yep, car gets punted to the inside and sort of takes out the back half of the field there. Not sure what happened there.
It's like,
It's like a wheel disc. Like, is there a mechanical error there?
That looks a little unnatural.
Yeah, the car just goes left on a very set angle into the inside wall with sort of doesn't look like that car's in control.
Oh, well, the
Bounces
front
back
right
up.
tire is definitely not doing well.
Yeah, off the wall.
Tire went down, maybe? Maybe it was there, but then we can see that sort of collects a good chunk of that second pack there and sort of breaks up the field.
That was
Zach
just
gets
unfortunate.
involved.
A lot of damage. Unfortunately. Thanks, I hated it.
The chat is a little behind from all of us,
Yep.
but thanks, I hated it is a good reaction from Red.
Yeah.
For that whole melee. That definitely, and here now Red gets shuffled into, he's racing Keymaster right behind him and gets hit by the bumper, and then Keymaster gets into the blender and gets just absolutely annihilated. But Red also loses a lot of positions here, and the big winner here is Fisticuffs, who gets the clean run. Yeah,
right through the middle.
And
Right
we'll,
after I gave him
on
that
to,
lucky call.
Continue on to the podium to be one of only 3 cars to get a 0x in the first heat, and those 3 cars finished first, second, and third.
Got VV wanting their cam looked at.
This is why we have cautions. I was specifically told that there were no cautions there. I was specifically messaged to remind me that I am not allowed to throw cautions tonight.
Very nice, VV. Very nice.
Yeah, that's solid. Solid reflexes there, VV.
Yeah.
Nice instincts.
Yeah. That could have been much worse for you. Baron going in. Oh, car's not turning. Won't turn.
Car doesn't turn. It'll tap at a water barrel. That's fine. You got a fast repair.
Yeah, no problem.
Yeah, gotta make it to the box. Unfortunately, that car has seen better days.
It's a little
Just
loose.
a little slide.
A slide. That's fine.
Ben, what happens? Ben, wall kiss? Did you kiss the
wall
wall?
tap? I'm guessing.
Yeah, probably.
Not.
Okay. No clue.
Okay.
Baron's back out on track. See a little contact between Baron.
Little contact with
just a
McRib.
little.
Just a little tap.
Just a little. And Gargo.
Is that a NASCAR legal tap that we're talking about there?
That's
Nobody's writing home about that in NASCAR.
That's not the usual way you would do a bump and run. Normally, you don't want to try to spin them. You just want to overdrive them into the turn.
Yeah.
Force
them to kind of back out a little.
Yeah, about the only illegal move in NASCAR is the right hook into the outside wall.
Yeah, Austin Dillon.
Yeah, there's Drax on defense there, taking the wide line and getting a little wide on exit, and Ben, it looks like they're just with a bit of a wall tap there.
Yep.
Let's see.
I think we're through the major incidents in this race.
Yeah,
I think
that's what
everything is
like.
kind of
It's just
starting
all
to
wall
thread
taps.
out a bit.
Yep.
And
We'll keep
some
an eye on
things
stuff.
just aren't even happening. Like, nothing happened there, nothing happened there, nothing happened there, nothing.
All right, we might have to set you up with Stuart.
Yeah.
He'll be fine.
Well,
Severing reports the sheet is available, by the way.
Yeah, I have it up to talk about when we're done with the.
I have a page or a screen on ATVO where I can look at and see all the incidents if I wanted to. I might keep that up next time. Just to make it a little easier on this. Yeah, this is all just contact. This has got to be. That's after the race.
There's a big bump.
Well,
but this is post race. Yeah.
Yep. This is the end.
I think Heat 1 was
where most of the excitement was.
Yeah, especially that big one.
Yeah. You know, little bumping on the start here for the Heat 2. I think we're going to see lots of wall taps here primarily.
Yeah, I think we didn't have any extreme drama. I think we had just some individual moments, but nothing like our big one that we had in Heat 1.
Oh yeah, there was this one.
This 3 wide fucking beast mode by Dango. Like, sees it, is like, sure, I got space.
Easy. It's a very easy math problem. If gap car.
Yeah,
well, but also, you're denying both the optimal line to Stapler in 81 and who else was there? It was VV.
That was VV.
Yep.
You know, VV has to check up because of being in the middle. Red can't come down because VV's there, and there's that's a move.
Oh.
Again, smooth criminal right there.
If gap car.
Yeah. Forced that incident between VV and Red, made them have to either figure out how to get through it or go to the wall because they weren't going to come back down and hit him during that. So he was clean through that. And I learned from the last race of last season, if Dingo gets a fucking run on you, Dingo takes it.
Like I've been saying, if gap car.
Yep.
This little wall tap by Classy there.
Apparently wording was the case and it's slightly different. If gap, go for it. A little more
There's a
wordy
little
than my
bump
version.
between
A little bump.
VV and Red, and Decker is right in there as well.
Just little love taps here and there. Just a little love tap. Just
Yeah,
a
here's
little.
one.
Oh,
Yep.
oh, oh.
Ooh, that's going to be a little bit of a moment there.
Oh, good
Secondary
catch.
moment, and we're good. Carry
Very
on.
good catch, Jake.
Yeah, a bit of a unfortunate for Keymaster. Had some pace, but in this the second race wasn't really able to take advantage. Kind of.
And
That's how it
Ben
goes in
in
the
chat
oval
brings up one of the things we were talking about was the inside versus the outside. The outside was faster.
called
The
it.
inside could keep up with some diamond moves, but the outside could pinch the inside. It was very entertaining to watch during the latter half of this race. So go back and watch that.
Yeah, go back and watch the show. I will be uploading this. Like, yeah, the VOD's there, but I'll upload it for people as well. But yeah, I called it at the beginning that somebody is gonna do an outside lane pass, and Dingo was the first, and I fucking loved it. And then a bunch of people started doing it.
I think Drax was the first.
The
in
outside
first
lane was
heat,
open for business.
Drax might have done it, but we weren't watching. That's true.
And Ben Serta, who had a pretty good result here tonight, said, in a battle, the outside was better if you could keep the inside car pinned. And yeah, I think over a couple of corners, if you could keep the inside car pinned, then you could just deny them the exit and
force their tires to wear faster.
Yeah.
Yep. And that ended up being pretty decisive for some people. The inside line proved advantageous at moments, but I don't think it was going to be a reliable thing to kind of set up multi-lap sort of battles and be able to prevail.
Yep.
After a couple of laps, whoever's on the inside is inevitably going to start to slow down or get looser, and they have to make the choice to either get past or fall behind. Don't get all these, not even a wall tap. Give me a wall tap at least.
Yep, and VV has a great point there. Hard part was getting to the outside without being blocked, and we saw some aggressive blocks.
Yeah, we did.
I think VV, you're a victim of one of those aggressive blocks.
I believe it was
We
Dingo
did see
that
we did see some late moves to the outside or some late braking from the inside drivers to kind of cut off a line. But we also saw some very masterful car placement by some of our drivers, just using the 3 or 4 centimeters of space between the rear of their car and the nose of the following car and being able to fill that in. And so I won't say every defensive move was was dodgy. I think we saw quite a few very well-placed cars, mathematically placed cars.
Yep, and this is the end of the race. So lots of the side-to-side contacts here in the second race. So as we watch the craft party here, we do have results. Gargo starts off the Gabir Cup with a perfect score, 37 points, most you can get in a week. Wins both heats for 35, gets the fast lap for 1, and gets the pole for another.
Call that the Triple Crown, or our Gabir Motors equivalent of that.
Did he lead every lap?
No, I think Ben would have led a few of the laps early on. Let me see here. I can pull that up here real quick.
Almost a clean sweep.
Say led every lap of the feature of heat 2, but led only 4. Did not lead 5 laps of heat 1. Ben
5 laps.
No, quite a performance, Gargos.
Yeah,
very great. Very good. Hot start. Loving
it. And also just a exciting. We'll say we didn't really cover it in the CSI racing, but if you're gonna tune in later and watch the replay, the early battle between them in the first race, Gargos and Ben, was excellent.
Yes.
Well done.
Ben, there are people
You're doing great
there.
with the director role. Well done, director.
Yep. Continuing on, Red Stapler gets a P2 for the day at 29 points, and then Fisticuffs and VV tie for third at 28. In the Champions Cup, no surprise, Ben takes the early lead with 31 points, with Drax right behind at 30. You're seeing the schedule on the left side of the screen here, but we have a very exciting season in store. Lots of heat racing, lots of small cars on tracks designed for small cars to get that close racing that we love. next week we're at full Summit Point in the MX5 in another heat racing format.
I
We'll
know.
also-
I looked at the schedule and I was just like, oh, I would love to be driving this season.
Yes.
I'm very happy to be in the booth with you guys. Don't get me
Yes,
wrong.
very, very
but
happy,
also
but this
love these
probably
cars. This is going to be a great season.
And we're introducing 3 new pieces of content this
4.
season.
4.
4. What's the 4?
You've got the next gen Iowa,
Yep, we've got the next
F4,
gen. We've
and
got
Long
Iowa.
Beach.
F4. I forgot. For some reason, I thought we already had that. But you're right. 4 new pieces of content. You're going to start to see those week 4 and week 5. We'll introduce those new pieces of content and have some fun with them.
I am so sad to be missing that, but also my main pedals did break at the end of last season, so I would have probably been a hindrance to a bunch of people anyways.
Fair enough. And I think that's about what we've got for tonight, unless I've missed something.
Nope,
I believe
that's
a
it.
pretty dominant performance by Gargos, and
Yep. Any
we'll
final
call it that.
words from you two? And I will send this off with the outro, and then obviously we'll go ahead and rate somebody once the outro is done.
My final words are 5 more years. 5 more years.
And I think we've seen an exciting start to what's going to be an exciting season as we celebrate 5 years with season 22 here. Come back same time next week for MX5s at Summit Point for another what's going to be another fun, exciting race.
5 more years. 5 more years.
Thank you all for joining.